Hello, my name is Chappie Ferrer. I'm the Executive Director of Military Outreach USA and the founder of Stand By Me Heroes program. I'm an NCO and Iraqi vet. I served in the 82nd and 7th Army. I'm a licensed minister and a chaplain for multiple organizations. What we're about to go through here is a continuation of the framework. This framework provides hope and recovery. These are not just words, but these come from situations that we have confronted using the Warrior of Hope manual to help individuals. It works. It's simple. So we will continue to elaborate on these matters, but I want you to know that this is in partnership with Crosswinds Foundation. Look at them, and you can go on their website and purchase this book along with some other videos that will help us as part of that recovery process, because there is hope. So let's begin with this chapter. Now, as soon as many of you looked at this, you probably began to tune me out. When we're talking about spiritual health, I am not talking about religion. Our Foxhole Soul Counselor teams, we do not proselytize. We are people of faith. Our focus is only faith. So I hope you don't tune me out, because in order for you to have that victory, to have that success, to manage these issues that confront our lives, you must consider the spiritual being that you really are. Soul searching is a focus of faith, not of religion, and we stress this continuously. So let's talk about this main idea. While post-traumatic stress will cause emotional disruptions and issues, again, there is a spiritual aspect to this. And that emotional aspect must also include the spiritual part of it. They are side by side, are they not? And if you don't treat them all, again, you will not be able to solve, you will not be able to address those deep issues that are within. Let's first talk about our conscience. Every human being has one, regardless, no matter what your background is, we all have a conscience. And I've added the definition here from our Brother Webster's dictionary, and it says, every human being, regardless of culture, ethnicity, background, has a conscience. Our conscience is the part of the human spirit that tells us when we've done something wrong. This is what we're going to address here. This is out of the realm of medical help. This requires help from spiritually minded people. No, not anyone and everyone can do this. It does take experience, again, of spiritually minded people. Let me ask you this question. When you look at this slide, how many people have seen these signs before? What's the purpose of the sign? Will we ignore these signs in particular? Is there not a sign also for a moral injury? Look at these signs and tell me, when you first looked at them, what your reaction was. What would your reaction be in real life? And I would imagine for many veterans, for those that have served across the world, you've seen these signs before. And I know they've made you very cautious, as they would anyone. So we think of these signs when we see a minefield sign or red, an explosion. Do we think about moral injury? Most likely not. We try to hide that from ourselves. The only problem is we all have a conscience. Good and bad will surface. A determination will have to be made. And that's your part. Will you choose to adhere to that sign, or will you ignore the sign? Well, I guess in this case, we know what happens if you ignore the signs. Again, here at Military Outreach USA in our Stand By Me Heroes program, we're focused on the whole person. Mind, body, and soul. Please try not to be one or two-dimensional. Think it through. If you don't look at the spiritual aspects of your life, you will have problems that you'll not be able to solve. Remember those old cartoons? Yes, I'm dating myself and dating you as well. Remember the angel on one side and the devil on the other, and the cartoon has to make a decision? That's more reality than what we may think. It's blatantly true. It happens with us every day. Our conscience is constant battle. What we've learned from our parents in growing up, what we've learned as far as morality, there's a choice, is there not? You can always choose right or wrong. The choice remains always yours. Common symptoms when we're dealing with moral injuries, post-traumatic stress, well, they're listed here for you, and I won't go through them individually. But I want you to understand that center part, because there's some commonality. And if you look here, the commonality is anger, anxiety, nightmares, withdrawal. These are all common to both. But in this framework that has been put together, understand that there is hope, and faith can move any mountain, has already moved countless mountains, and will continue to do so. When we're talking about the conscience, we're raised in America to think about this, critical thinking, that, what if? And we're constantly having to review our actions. And a good person will always review their actions. They will always make a determination. Good, bad, can I improve? And we should always seek improvement. But often, when the soldier is in a war zone, when they're out in the oceans, battling this enemy under the sea, they start questioning themselves. What was this war for? Did I do good for this? Could we have done something differently? Did we have to? For many of our veterans, that this day in which the decision you had to make, after giving an order to fire and take a life, that's when your conscience, that's when that moral part of you, that conflict began. So we had to make a choice. Kill or be killed. And that decision for that day, though we have been able to subdue it for a while, it will resurface. It always resurfaces. And these are the moral implications that we could not only learn to deal with, but we could learn to manage. Again, it is very important you find the right spiritually minded people to help you in this area. Medicines will do nothing to help this. Kyle Radke states, no amount of medicine, no amount of therapy, nothing worked. The doctors don't have an answer. Well, that is true. No prescription can answer these questions. The only thing I can do is reality works, and it works with other veterans or chaplains to try to get those answers. And yes, there are answers. There have been answers throughout time. Wars have continued since Old Testament times, since the beginning of time. And there's always been solutions. And there still remain solutions to help us. But again, this requires people that are spiritually minded, not religious minded, but spiritually minded individuals that can help you, who have experienced these issues and can help you move forward. The most difficult thing for any veteran to do, male or female, no matter what your situation is, no matter where you are in life, is forgiveness. The lack of forgiveness have brought many people down and continues to do so. It is the most difficult challenge of all. To forgive your enemy, most difficult, but a requirement. You can learn to manage that. You can learn to overcome. Is it easy? Absolutely not. We've been taught physically and mentally how to discipline ourselves, how to become the best warriors on the planet. But sooner or later, there's that conscience, there's that moral implication that you have to address. So this requires spiritually minded help, guidance. Freedom is acquired through the help of faith. I know many of you do not attend a local church, but I promote the spiritual aspect, the spiritual training, if you will, in your life to help you to grow. And if you're having struggles in attending a local church for now, if you look on here, send us an email at ourpriorityfamily@gmail.com. We provide a small lessons from Monday through Friday, devotionals, that will help you to build the spiritual person that you are. Again, it's not a religious devotional, it is a spiritual devotional to help feed your spirit, to help grow you and continue to pursue your life in a successful manner. Small steps, it's small steps. And that's all we ask. That's all we can do. And don't ever underestimate the importance of a small group. Within your small group, these are individuals that will guard your six. Individuals who will not judge you regardless of your situation that you found yourself in a combat. Always remember, there are others that have gone through this and have overcome. We can help guide you. We can help partnering with you. And a small team is the best approach moving forward. So taking these simple steps are important. And I would ask that you consider our team of Foxhole Soul Counselors to help in this area. Another most important DVD ever created is known as Honoring the Code. Please go on to the Crosswinds Foundation.org. Go on to their website. Purchase these DVDs. Or you could go on Military Outreach USA, Stand By Me Heroes, and these DVDs are there for you to just download and look at. But they will help not only you understand, but they will help your family understand those invisible scars. Why honoring the code continues to be part of our life far after we've left service. And lastly, for those of you, men, women, NCOs, officers, civilians, first responders, if you can meet this scope of service to help others out, if you can spend 80% of your time listening empathically, understanding what that individual is going through, being part of their team of recovery, then we certainly would welcome you toward becoming a Foxhole Soul Counselor. We look to grow across the country because we can be there in the evenings when that individual needs someone to talk to, someone to grieve with. Please consider Military Outreach USA and our volunteer programs. Thank you.